Before there was Assembly Atlanta, there was Third Rail Studios, opening in 2016 and a favorite location for Netflix productions, as well as movies featuring Dwayne Johnson, Mark Wahlberg, and Clint Eastwood.
Gray Television acquired Third Rail in 2021 with the intention to include it with Assembly Atlanta. That intention is now a reality.
Justin Campbell, who managed Third Rail and is now Vice President of Studio Operations at Assembly, spoke with us on how incorporating this new state-of-the-art facility into the area is going.
Justin, you joined Gray Television after managing Third Rail Studios, which is now a part of Assembly. Explain to us what a massive undertaking it was creating Assembly Atlanta.
Oh, absolutely. You know, Third Rail Studios has been in Atlanta since 2016. It's got a relatively small footprint. It's more of a boutique studio, about 130,000 square feet. Certainly not anything to the size of, you know, when you start to talk about 50 acres and 1.1 million square feet with a very aggressive construction timeline. You know, the first slab that we poured was in March of 2022 that we're sitting on right now. And here we are in April or May, I'm sorry, of 2024, 2 years later, we've developed 1.1 million square feet with active productions on site. So it was an incredibly aggressive timeline. It took a lot of conviction and commitment, of course, from Gray TV. We pre-bought all of our steel, we pre-bought all of our roof decking. At that time, we were still under some of the constraints, you know, of COVID shipping timelines and inventory. So it took a lot of, it was very much a, if you build it, they will come. And, you know, we had great partnerships with the county level, with the city of Doraville. I don't know anywhere else in the country you could have done this at this rate, to this scale, without great partners like the city of Doraville. So it was absolutely a collaborative effort. And it took everybody kind of rowing the boat in the same direction to get us here. So it was a labor of love, but very much well worth it, and we're proud of the results.
And you're proud too to look at all this. And Justin, what has the reaction been so far to these studios?
Oh, it's been incredible. I think even from the general public, you know, who drove by the site for 15 years and it was concrete. You know, and there's so much. This site has a lot of history with this area, with Doraville. And everyone we spoke to either had a family member or a friend or some connection to the site. So, for one, it's been mostly excitement from the community knowing that this is a transformational project for this area. And then specifically to the industry, I mean, this speaks to where Georgia is currently, not only in the country, but in the world when it comes to film and television production. So the intent was to create a facility reflective of that. And I think we've done that with world-class infrastructure. You know, the crew has come in here and they've been blown away. They love working here. We try to spoil them so that they keep coming back. That's the intent, and we hope it works. Yeah.
And I think it's safe to say we feel spoiled just getting the opportunity to set foot on Assembly Atlanta and see all of the great things that have happened in just under 2 years. What would you say makes Assembly Atlanta stand out from any other studio across the country?
There's a few things. You know, at the end of the day, this is a real estate component, right? So we feel we absolutely have the best location. We're tucked right inside the perimeter. We have access to Hartsfield, to PDK. We have MARTA connections close by to our site. So that's one of the major tenets that we feel like is a big positive for Assembly. The other is our world-class infrastructure, the stages we're sitting in here. You know, this stage has 4,000 amps of power. It's got 51-foot clear to catwalks in every single stage, 100 tons of HVAC. So, you know, we spared no expense when it came to the infrastructure that we have in place here. But that's just a box until you activate it, right? So the third part that sets us apart from other studios is our partnership with NBC Universal. So, you know, we're leveraging their 100 years of experience in studio management and facilities management to really have that end user face-to-face interaction that we feel sets us apart from other studios. This site's leveraged by an operations center in Los Angeles, a security center in New York, so it's fully 24/7 world-class service, customer service that I think really stands Assembly apart from others.
The facility is called Assembly Atlanta, and there was a reason for choosing that name. Yeah. It's actually got a deeper meaning. What does that mean?
Right, so it's a little bit of a nod to the past with the General Motors assembly plant that opened in 1948 and was here for 50 years. It's a nod to what we are now, and assembly means creating something. You know, here we'll create world-class TV shows and movies, music videos, you know, for people to enjoy for years to come. And the third part, you know, Assembly means bringing people together. And that's more of the intent for what we're looking for phase two. It's a place for people to gather, to create, to build a community. And so we really felt like that name just fit the site perfectly. We're really happy with it.
I like it. And what is on the immediate horizon for Assembly? Is there a phase 2 coming?
There is. So, you know, the studios sit on 43 acres of 135. So we have a much larger sandbox left to develop. Some really exciting things that we have programmed and planned for that phase, but it'll be the mixed use residential, retail, kind of that live, work, play idea on steroids, all public facing to the studio. So you've got these two major kind of economic engines that drive each other. There's a lot of energy on the site. And so we want it to be, you know, part of Hilton's vision for this site was to bring visibility into this industry. Everyone knows that Georgia is big for film and TV, but they may not know where it happens. And so part of making this studio so visible to the public was to change that narrative, for people to know, oh yeah, I've been to Assembly. For it to be when someone comes into Atlanta and they want to go out to get a bite to eat or a drink, you know, someone flies in from out of town, it's like, you've got to see this place. You've got to come here. And so that was the intent, and we look forward to, you know, getting that going. That's going to be happening here really soon.
He's Vice President of Studio Operations, Justin Campbell. Thank you so much for spending some time with us.
Thanks for having me.